This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Coming up on Sunrise, debris as deep as 15 feet in spots. Crews continue to navigate this dangerous landslide, searching for a missing woman. Ahead, we're going to hear what her husband says their final moments were like before she went missing.
But I'll take a marble floor. I don't care as long as we're there doing our mission.
Not only is Oregon's National Guard in Salem protecting our state capitol next week, but some Guard members are headed to Washington, D.C. We hear from some of the 20,000 troops serving to protect the presidential inauguration.
And our viewers are still asking a lot of questions about COVID vaccines. So we have a brand new Verified report this morning coming up in 5 minutes that will answer some of those questions, including who should not get the vaccine.
Good morning to you. We have finally made it to Friday. Let's check in with Rod about our Friday forecast. Good morning.
Hi, everybody. A little bit of rain out there. This is a very weak system, no wind with it, and most of the rain I'm showing you on radar right now here on the west side will be ending for the Rose City and Salem and the coast around the noon hour today. So right now, some rain still offshore. You can see the area of light rain moving from Portland up into the Cascades. Snow level early this morning around 6,000 feet. We're at 44. Showers pretty much done, we think, as early as noon, 50 degrees. Then later today, pretty nice. Some sun breaks developing and temperatures in the low 50s for a high.
Not bad. All right, Rod, thank you so much. Well, we start with an update this morning. SR 14 in Washington near the Gorge is back open in both directions this morning after a landslide shut it down. This happened near Horse Thief Lake State Park. It's northeast of the Dells. Just look at these photos. The boulders came crashing down onto the road, trapping that small red car. We don't know if the driver was hurt. WashDOT saying crews are still out there alternating traffic through the area. Well, still developing this morning on the other side of the river, the search for a woman swept away by a mudslide in the gorge.
So yesterday, Nina, crews found the spot where they think 50-year-old Jennifer Moore's car is buried. We're talking about 15 feet of mud and debris. So she was the last car. This is some new information that we didn't know yesterday morning at this time, but she was the last car in a line of cars that was driving along Frontage Road in Dodson when that slide happened. We actually talked to her husband, who told us that he was on the phone with her, trying to help her through that storm early Wednesday morning when the slide happened.
While they were on the phone together, he heard Miss Moore panic, scream, and then he heard crashing and collision noises.
All of her friends that I've ever met, patients I've talked to that she's known and stuff that I happen to meet or something, they all say the same thing. You know, she's a really hard working nurse. I had to go off of work a couple years ago and she took a second job.
You just heard right there, Moore, a nurse in the oncology unit at Good Samaritan Hospital in downtown Portland. So crews will now work to recover her car. They don't think she survived. Again, the mud in some spots there, 15 feet deep, and it includes logs and boulders that pose a big risk to rescuers. Engineers are also keeping a close eye on hillsides in that area that could be vulnerable to more slides. Meanwhile, PGE crews are still trying to turn the power back on for about 4,000 people around the metro area. They say anyone without power in Beaverton, Tigard, Lake Oswego, they should be getting that power back this morning. Customers in Salem and Oregon City, also Kaiser, they should have power back on by this afternoon. And people in Gresham, Sandy, and Mount Hood, crews expect work will be done there by midnight tomorrow.
Turning now to the latest on the COVID vaccine in Oregon. Teachers and seniors will be the next to get vaccinated, and today Governor Kate Brown will release more details about that plan. We know vaccinations start on January 23rd. This group includes teachers, child care providers, and anyone 65 and older. Governor Brown says that's also when the state is expecting more vaccine shipments from the federal government. Well, the governor has been talking about this all week, and many of you have reached out to us wondering when you can get your shot.
Yeah, it's left a lot of people with questions, understandably. So here's Kristen Severance with some answers.
Okay, our first question is one we've gotten several times over the last few days. People want to know who should not get the COVID vaccine. It's important to note here, health officials say the majority of people should get the vaccine. It's safe and effective for most of us. Doctors say the only people who should really not get it are the people allergic to any ingredient or component in the vaccine. We put a long list of the ingredients in both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines on our website if you want to take a look. Any questions about, the ingredients or components, please reach out to your doctor. All right, next question here. This viewer wanted to know, the new recommendation for vaccine eligibility allows people 65 and older and teachers. Are people with medical conditions eligible as well? If so, at what age? All right, so as it stands right now in Oregon, no. People with underlying medical conditions are not in this first group to get vaccinated. The CDC said states should prioritize people 65 and up and people with underlying medical conditions. Governor Brown did add people 65 and older to start being vaccinated along with teachers starting January 23rd. She did not add people with underlying medical conditions. We will let you know if and when that changes. All right, our next question here. This is from Janice. She says, I'm a substitute teacher, age 62, who has not worked since March 13th. Am I eligible for the vaccine? Okay, the answer here, yes, you are. So I reached out to both the governor's office and the Oregon Health Authority about this, and they said, yes, substitute teachers are part of the education workforce group who can get their vaccine starting January 23rd. Do you have something you want us to verify? Let us know. All you have to do, send us an email to verify@kgw.com.
All right, let's get to three things to know about COVID-19 this morning. Number one, Oregon health officials reported 1,152 new COVID cases yesterday and 29 deaths. So the state's COVID death toll is now at 1,737. The number of people in the hospital dropped slightly yesterday to 415. Also this morning, new risk levels start today in Oregon. They determine what businesses can open or what businesses have to stay closed. A total of 26 Oregon counties are now in the extreme risk category. That includes Baker, Clatsop, Coos, and Morrow, who went from high risk to, again, extreme risk starting today. That means no more indoor dining, gyms and theaters must also close, and retail stores are limited to 50% capacity. Curry County was the only area that was downgraded to moderate risk. And number three, a New York congressman is the fourth lawmaker to test positive for COVID after riots at the Capitol. That was just last Wednesday, of course. We will have more information on this coming up for you here in the 6 o'clock hour. We can tell you that that congressman is in isolation right now at his home in New York. And those are three things to know this morning about COVID-19.
Today, Oregon National Guard soldiers are heading to D.C. for the Biden-Harris inauguration. There are threats of violence, and many are concerned after last week's riot. Those Oregon soldiers will join other Guard members from across the country. The force will be 20,000 strong in the nation's capital. You've probably seen these photos that have gone viral. Some of the soldiers are sleeping on the marbled floor of the Capitol building. Our Pat Doris has more on their mission in Washington, D.C.
The MPs here with the National Guard have been planning for this for some time. They go every 4 years, but obviously this year is different. And they have seen the pictures of their colleagues that are already in D.C., and they're ready.
A lot of soldiers would not mind sleeping on marble floors. It'd probably be better conditions that we have slept in. Myself, when we were doing fires, we slept in a horse arena, basically, that was outside. But I'll take a marble floor. I don't care, as long as we're there doing our mission.
The Oregon soldiers know they're being sent to protect the actual Capitol building, and they will have their weapons, but the exact details of what they'll do and when they'll do it are still being worked out. In Salem, I'm Pat Doris reporting.
Well, throughout the pandemic, kids who have been distance learning have relied on having access to internet to, of course, complete their schoolwork. And a lot of those who attend Boys and Girls Clubs in Oregon and Southwest Washington will now have access to Wi-Fi and faster internet. It's a partnership with Comcast. Membership fees are being waived, and there's still availability at some clubs. You can find the list on our website.
Well, events this year are starting to cancel. Some of you probably got an email from the Shamrock Run confirming it is not going to happen in March. Instead, there's going to be a virtual race Now, if you're new to Portland, this is our longest running tradition. Super popular, super fun, takes place every year right near St. Paddy's Day. Usually we see crowds like this, but obviously right now that can't happen during a pandemic. So here's what you need to know if you've already registered. You can defer that registration to next year. But if you want to sign up for the virtual race, you can do that starting today. Just go to shamrockrunportland.com.
Rod, I'm listening to Brenda talk about that, and I'm thinking to me, that's the first event that we're seeing a second cancellation because of COVID. Last year, it was that week where we got all that COVID news, and the Shamrock Run was thinking, should we race, should we not race, should we race? And they had to cancel, I believe it was Friday, like 2 days before the race. So here we are a year later, still in the same situation.
And I thought to myself, surely I'm in good enough shape to do a virtual race. And then I realized, well, they probably still want you to run, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't work.
I don't know if you're there yet.
I'm probably not there yet. All right, here's the Pacific. I want to point out all this back here is mainly tracking up to our north. We will get these clouds and a little bit of rain going into Sunday morning, but not much. Ahead of it, this little narrow band of rain is a weakening front that we expected to bring showers this morning, and here they are arriving to the west side of our state, raining up in the Cascades as high as about 6,000 feet. That's where the snow level is, and we have rain out through the gorge this morning as well. Timing of all of this still shows that what has been mainly some light rain will be ending no later than the noon hour for the most part. Here's Futurecast at noon, showing mostly cloudy skies. This does show a speck of even a trace of rain this evening, but generally morning showers ending by the noon hour and then opening up partly cloudy skies this afternoon is what we believe today plays out to be. There's no wind with any of this. Here's tomorrow. Completely dry for your Saturday. There will be some cloudiness around. We're thinking kind of filtered sun, partly sunny skies, if you will, tomorrow. Whoa, that was the Wells Fargo camera. I think looking pretty dark. 44 degrees in Portland right now, 47 down in Salem. We do have some temperatures in the 20s out across the east to start your day. You folks have just really a slight chance of a shower across eastern Oregon this afternoon. It's mainly going to be ending once it pops over the Cascades. All right, for today, 53 Portland, 51 tomorrow. Sunday, mainly morning showers light, but there is a lingering chance of a shower in the afternoon, more so on Sunday, of mostly cloudy skies overall. Dr. Martin Luther King Day still looks dry. Early fog, then I think we clear out. Rain comes in late Tuesday. I push that timing back. But look at the temperatures next week. By Thursday, highs only 44. Temperatures could be even colder going into the weekend.
Rodney, get a load of this story, Rod. You know, the 5 days from now, of course, is Inauguration Day. So a big day for President-elect Joe Biden. But we're also talking this morning about an indauguration, because the president-elect's dog is also having a special ceremony. In fact, his comes first this weekend. We'll talk about the good cause that's coming by way of President-elect Joe Biden's dog. Next on Sunrise. Plus, are you feeling the lotto fever? I was feeling like it was time for the commercial break. I felt like it was time to go to a commercial. The producers had other ideas.
You can't forget about the lottery.
So, hey, I tried to run out the door and buy a lottery ticket real quick. But I do have to tell you that tonight we've got Mega Millions. Tomorrow we have Powerball. What are the chances of you actually winning either one of those? We'll have the details coming up on Sunrise. And now we go to commercial.